Hey guys, welcome back to some more Fire Emblem Heroes. Today, we're going to take a look at CYL7 voting. They caught us off guard. They started CYL7 voting about a month earlier than they usually do, presumably because Engage is coming out and they don't want those characters to be brand new and to also be votable. So, I guess it makes sense. Overall, I'm glad they did it this way, but for reasons we're going to get to later, I really wish they gave us a warning. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to do a little bit of an analysis of the CYL6 voting results compared to the prior CYL5 voting, just to get an idea of the trends in voting and to see who could win CYL7. So let's get into it. I did this kind of video once before, and there were a couple trends that I noticed back then that I thought were interesting, and they're reappearing here. For one, we're just getting less votes overall over the years. So from CYL4 to 5, we lost votes. That was the year that the Three Houses Lords won. That was 4, and then into 5 where Gatekeeper won. I think we lost like 100,000 votes in the top 20 from CYL4 to 5. And now, from CYL5 to 6, I've expanded our range a little bit, so now we're looking at the top 30. From CYL5 to 6, we lost 70,000 votes. So we're continuing that trend of just seeing less votes overall. Another thing I thought would be interesting would be to see the loss in votes from Three Houses characters, because that was one thing we noticed from CYL4 to 5 was that since the Three Houses Lords were already out, then there wasn't as much reason to vote for Three Houses characters. But this time around, the Three Houses characters only lost 15,000 votes, so really not that much. From 4 to 5, I think it was 200,000 votes that they lost. Maybe more interesting than that was the fact that out of the winners from 5 to 6, the top 2 in each category, we lost 55,000 votes. So that was from 5, when Gatekeeper got 70,000 votes, to 6, where Crom won with 40,000 votes. What I'm getting out of all this is that in CYL5, we just had a situation where a lot of outside people were coming in and voting for Gatekeeper, which makes sense. That's kind of to be expected when you have kind of a meme character like that getting popular. Another takeaway here, I think, is that the Three Houses characters don't seem to be falling off as much as I maybe would have expected from 5 to 6. Overall, they only lost 15,000 votes, and as we get into the individual characters, you'll see that several of them actually gained votes from 5 to 6. Let's look at our CYL6 winners. So obviously Crom won, he gained 6,000 votes from 5 to 6. Tiki was the big surprise last year. She went from 3,000 votes in 30th place to 39,000 votes in 2nd place overall. That was one thing I said to kind of look out for in my last video that I made a year and a half ago, was that in CYL6 you very well could just see a character like Tiki or Anna, or anybody, just make a huge leap like that if people get behind them. Seliph gained 20,000 votes, so he got 2nd place for the men's category. And yeah, I actually ruled out Seliph last time because in CYL5 he only got like 6,500 votes, so he really wasn't all that competitive, but he jumped up quite a bit in CYL6. And our last winner from CYL6 was Female Lilith. She actually lost votes from CYL5 to 6, which is curious. She lost votes, but she still won with 20,000 votes. If there's anything that I could maybe infer from these results, where the CYL6 winners obviously gained, well, in most cases, they gained votes going from 5 to 6. If there's anything I can infer from that, it's just that every year when voting comes around, there's a lot of people that just vote for the winners, like they're trying to get certain characters to win, and so they're joining in with other campaigns, like the Tiki campaign, or for Seliph, or whoever else. So a lot of the people that voted for like Crom, Tiki, Seliph, and Byleth, I think a lot of those votes are just going to go to this year's winners. Speaking of this year's winners, we're going to look at our big contenders. We're going to look at the runner-ups from CYL6. We had Felix in 6th place overall. He had 20,000 votes. That was up from about 12,000 votes the year before, so Felix definitely trending up. Soren was a surprise. He got 7th place overall with 17,000 votes. He gained 11,000 votes from CYL5. Bernadetta has had a weird history in CYL, because in CYL4, she had 20,000, and then in CYL5, she lost votes and went all the way down to 12,000. And then in CYL6, she's back up to about 20,000. So I thought maybe Bernadetta's support was just gonna continue falling off, but that doesn't appear to be the case. I guess what must have happened is a lot of Bernie voters in CYL5 just went and voted for Gatekeeper. That's the only way I can imagine this worked out this way. But yeah, Bernie's back up to 20,000 votes. I think she's competitive. Again, I think she's definitely a contender for a winner in CYL7. And finally, we have Corin. So from CYL 5 to 6, she gained 6,000 votes, so she's trending up. At the end of this video, I'll give my predictions for who I think will win, but for now, since we're talking about the runner-ups, one thing that really stands out to me in this CYL is just the lack of campaigns I'm seeing for other characters. Like last year we had one for Tiki, the year before that we saw one for Marianne. I'm just not seeing that this year, and it just makes everything a little more boring, I think. I think the reason this happened is just because they just sprung CYL voting on us all at once with no warning. Like, we had no time to prepare for this. I had no time to prepare my really robust campaign for Braum. How am I supposed to get Braum into the top 20 of CYL if they don't give me a warning first? So yeah, I think starting the voting so soon with no warning is gonna result in us probably just seeing a lot of these runner-up characters win, because those are kind of the people that we're falling back on to vote for. But let's look at some other characters. I thought it would be interesting to look at the Three Houses characters again, just because, Three Houses is now like a 3-year-old game. It's not new and fresh anymore, you would think. And these characters, in a lot of cases, they are now just getting added to the game. So, should be interesting to see how they're doing now. Sylvain remains steady at about 4,800 votes. He only lost a little bit. Dedu fell off big time. He lost 6,000 votes, presumably because he was added to the game between CYL5 and 6 voting. Ash fell off a little bit, not too crazy compared to Dedu. Yuri as well, same situation. He lost about 2,000 votes. And Byleth Male, I think for the second year in a row, Byleth Male lost votes. So I'm actually not feeling too good about his chances, especially since, as I'm recording this, we just got the silhouettes for the next seasonal banner, and he appears to be on there, so I'm thinking Male Byleth is not gonna be winning CYL7. Dorothea is trending up. I believe she lost votes going from 4 to 5, so that's good for her. Same for Hilda. Hilda gained 6,000 votes, so I'd say she is probably a contender. I would feel more strongly about that, but once again, I'm just not seeing very many campaigns on Twitter, on Reddit, or anywhere for these characters, so if I saw more support for Hilda, I would say, okay, well, she could climb all the way up and potentially win, but I'm just not seeing that for anybody. Finally, we got some miscellaneous characters outside the realm of Three Houses. We got Azura, who's trending up. She gained 5,000 votes from 5 to 6. Tharja remains constant. I guess her voters will just... they'll never go away. They'll just keep voting for Tharja over and over again. I think in the early CYL, Tharja actually did way better. I'll have to check that, but yeah, maybe I'll put some of her early CYL results on screen, because I do seem to recall her getting like 3rd place in CYL1 or something crazy like that. Male Robin trending up, he gained 3,000 votes. Anna trending up as well, she gained 2,000 from 5 to 6. Sigurd gained a little bit, and Female Robin gained about 3,000 votes as well. And I hesitate to use this as like really valuable, substantial data, but I'll just throw it in there since I think it's interesting. Someone on Reddit did this kind of collection of data of tweets of people supporting certain characters, and on there it actually looks like Female Robin is one of the more successful characters, even more so than Bernie or Anna. So I guess Female Robin could be a contender. I don't know. We have a couple of new characters added into the voting this time, like the Book 7 characters. So we got Sather, that other girl, Hather, and Gulveg. And I do see some people voting for Gulveg, but I'm just not seeing as much as I usually would, I guess, for a real contender. So I'm not counting on Gulveg winning, but it is certainly a possibility that within the next 24 hours this video will be outdated, and we'll get the midpoint results, and it will have Gulveg in like the top 5. I think if Gulvig is in the top 5, then I could actually see people rallying for her. And yeah, that's the thing with CYL voting is like, this video is gonna be outdated like really soon once they put out the midpoint results. Because if people see that a certain character is like in the top 5 or the top 3, then they'll rally for them, and that will be it. For example, I think if like Sharena is number 3 in the midpoint results, then I think she could actually win in the end. I would start voting for her just because I think it'd be funny if Sharena won. Finally, I'll give my predictions for who I think will win. Last year when I gave my predictions, I think I was half right because I said Chrom would win and I said female Byleth would win, but then I didn't predict Seliph, and I didn't really... I like half predicted Tiki. I think I said back then that a character like Tiki, for example, could have made a big comeback and won, but I guess for CYL6 I'll give myself like 2.5 credit for predicting the winners. For CYL7, I think our first place finisher for the men's side will be Felix, and I think second place will be Soren, just because those are the characters who are the runner-ups on the men's side. The men's side is usually less unpredictable than the women's side. That's just what I've noticed over the years. So yeah, I think our runner-ups from last year will be our winner, Felix and Soren. The women's side is usually less predictable. Even still, I think Bernadetta is probably going to win either first place or second place. And then our leftover winner for the women's side, for now, I'm just going to say female Corrin with like an asterisk, because like I do recognize that just like every year, there could be a character that suddenly rallies a bunch of support, like Sharena or Anna or someone else. So there you go. Those are the winners that I'm predicting. I hope you found this data and this little analysis interesting. Personally, I'm voting for Braum for now, just because I want him in the game, and he hasn't gained any votes. He's gotten about 200 votes every year, I'm pretty sure. So, one day they're gonna add him. They have to, right? If you could spare a vote for Braum, I would appreciate it. You can consider this my campaign video for Braum. And yeah, let me know who you're voting for in the comments. I'd be interested in hearing it. And we'll be back soon, because I'll probably do another video when midpoint results come out. Catch you guys later. By the way, here's some of the data that I collected for this video. You can just pause the video if you want and take a look at it. It shows all the results for CYL5 and 6, and then it shows some of the vote differentials on the side there. So yeah, I thought people might find that interesting.